I kind of took this idea of doing a marathon of shows and thought, hey, how can we give back to our community? How can we help people like us in some way? I guess for me, the idea for doing 19 shows in 19 hours came from this dream I've kind of always had of doing a marathon of shows over a day or just a period of time that was seemingly impossible. A musical inspiration of mine did this after I saw that film, and I saw kind of what that meant. I've always had this dream of doing the same thing. And so for me, doing 19 shows in 19 hours, the number 19 is significant this year for very obvious reasons. It's also doing it now, doing it during a time where live entertainment isn't prevalent anymore at the moment. And so just doing it right now was such an interesting choice, but one that I felt compelled to make. I kind of took this idea of doing a marathon of shows and thought, hey, how can we give back to our community? How can we help people like us in some way? And so in that effort, we decided to do the 19 shows in 19 hours, bringing along a donation link, and all of the money that we got donated during the marathon of shows, but also online before and after, would go to various organizations in the city that were giving specifically to artists and entertainment workers that were displaced for the holiday season, so that they could have the holidays that they want, or the holidays that they expected to be able to have.
To the boom, okay.
Yes,
yeah.
And then you're back into the next line. Okay, so let's just do chorus, bridge, down chorus to the end. Okay? Don't you know I love to tell you that you're fine. Running home like lightning on a hot day. Here we go. Dancing in the summer, and you know I love to tell you that you're here. Dancing by like it's meant to be. No, you won't believe me. Yeah, super simple.
It took a ton of planning. It took a lot of figuring out where we needed to be when, how long each show could be exactly, where we needed to eat, where we needed to get coffee, where we needed to get gas. All of that stuff took a lot of hours of planning beforehand. But because we did all that work before, the actual day wasn't stressful at all. This idea of doing a marathon of shows was so appealing to me because being able to share music for this length of time and make 19 hours of a day all about music and all about sharing music was just so amazing to me. There's never enough music in my life. I can never play enough music. You know, we were able to go to parks, especially in the Mount Dora area, and we found this amazing place to just play in front of a lighthouse, and to play on a pier, and to play on this huge chair, and just these really cool places where we would show up and say, okay, where can we set up? Where can we play? And just finding these little just nuggets of amazing venues that we wouldn't have seen otherwise.
Can't flow, so I don't let go. Tread water when I'm all alone. Shoreline like a sunrise, you're my home. Looking for myself, trying to find me, yeah. Losing my reflection every night, yeah.
in March, I was supposed to do an awesome show with my good friend Benjamin Neal at Ben Crane here on Instagram. It was called Ben Squared. Corona kicked our butt. We couldn't do the show. So Ben is doing 19 shows in 19 hours here in the Central Florida area to raise money for
displaced artists all over the city.
Stunning. He's a good friend, has become even closer during COVID, and he wanted to do a show in downtown Windermere, and my house is in downtown Windermere, so he's doing a show for me, my daughter, and hopefully my non-complaining neighbors.
Every path I make, every road leads back to the place I know where I cannot go, where I long to be. See the lights that shine to the sea that calls me. No one knows where it goes. The wind and the sail of the sea stays behind me. But beyond know, if I go, there's just no telling how far I'll go.
Yeah, cool. Aren't you with that?
Forgive the tears in my eyes because it's been a while since I've heard live music, and man, oh man.
On top of this idea that there's never enough music in my life, there's also never enough cool places to play at. And I'm always pushing myself to find new venues and to find new environments to bring music to. And with this initiative, we were able to play in such amazing places. One that immediately comes to mind is Four Roots Farm Campus had us play inside a freight farm, which is just unreal. These freight farms that provide food in a sustainable way to communities that can't use traditional farming practices. We got to be inside of this freight farm and play a song, and that was just an amazing thing and something that we never would have thought we'd be able to do except for this.
Starting off, this is the Four Roots co-op. What happens here is we take in produce from around the state and we repurpose it by getting it to restaurants, getting it to people in need throughout the community. Since the beginning of coronavirus, we've given out over 500,000 pounds of produce and 1.7 million meals out of this facility here. So it's really cool. Another one of our missions is support local farmers by purchasing at a discounted rate produce they otherwise would have tilled under because they didn't have the outlets for it as the restaurants and hotels closed down. So it's really the purpose and the vision of this building, along with experimenting with other versions of farming aside from traditional row crops. This freight farm, so it's a 40-foot shipping container that's been transformed into a hydroponic garden. So this farm we'll go into in just a second is supplying the produce for our Orlando Science Center Four Roots Cafe. Okay. So we're doing the spinach, the lettuce, the basil, and the cilantro in this farm to support that restaurant. Pretty cool if you want to hop in here real quick and check it out. We start everything down in these lower troughs here as seedlings where they spend about a week. They move up here for about 2 weeks. You can see some seedlings right here that are growing. And on Friday of this week, so just a couple days, we're going to transplant them straight into these towers here. These towers are controlled by a computer that we have on an app on our phone. They're watered, they get light, they get nutrients, and they have their soil in the form of the peat plugs that they're planted in. And so we can grow a tremendous amount of herbs and leafy greens in these quickly with essentially zero waste. There's no pests, there's no animals, there's no human interaction. It's all fresh and never touched. So technically everything we grow in here is ready to eat, doesn't have to be washed because it's never touched by a human.
Give a scar, no church, reminded me of Big we had a first meet. It's okay, it's just our life, sipping on gold, cause you're in a car. The smell of the beach from far, we burn the sun, back into the back, take the back seat, picking up our back. I took it drunk, take it back down, she's going away with me, easy. A little, and I become, what's the day we met, of course, you're gonna live like this, we go to home, and she never sleeps. With the kids who say, this is our code, the city never sleeps at night. Don't you know, I love to tell you that this time feels like coming home, like lemonade on a hot day, like dancing in the summer rain. No, I love to tell you that way. It's in my life, it's meant to be. No tell you that your smile feels like coming home, like a lemonade on a hot day. And it's in the summer rain, you know. I love to tell you that it's in my life, it's meant to be. I know you won't believe me. Yeah.
See the stars coming out at night. We're gonna drive till the morning light. We can dance till we feel alright. Feel alright. Top down through the city. Radio set to Bowie. You look just like a movie. Like a movie. 'Cause I've been feeling this feeling right from the start. Gotta get you out of my head and into my heart. And I know I'll find my way to you. I know I'll find my way to you. Sun is going down, I know I'll be okay. Headlights shining through the summer haze. And I know I'll find my way to you. I know I'll find my way to you. Lights out, make a memory. Daydream like a reverie. Wide awake, we will never sleep. Never sleep. Heard you call like an echo. Grab my hand, never let go. You said let's go where we don't know. Where we don't know. 'Cause I've been feeling this feeling right from the start. Gotta get you out of my head and into my heart. And I know I'll find my way to you. I know I'll find my way to you.
Alright, so on our volunteer nights, our volunteers come into our unit here. As you can see, all of our food that we have for our cast members, and they pack a bag. Our bags are about $40 to $50 worth of items. We have about 20 items. So right here on our shelf, this shows us exactly what we put into the bags. And we try to give all the cast members that we can as much as possible for their needs at this time.
If I walked up a staircase, would you climb it too? One step for me, one step for you. If I gave you my heart, would you break it in two? One half for me, one half for you. Don't you know, I love to tell you that your smile feels like coming home, like lemonade on a hot day. Or dancing in the summer rain, you know. I love to tell you that your hand fits in mine like it's meant to be. I know you won't believe me. Thank you for letting us be out here.
Can't make sense of your own reflection. Try to believe the face that's before you. And they say this life just happens, everything doesn't really matter. The truth is what you think, but you can't think on your own. Slow down. Come closer now, come closer now. I can hear you, I can hear you.
just a gleam from my silly little dream.
You know, I pooped on your car earlier this week.
Hey, you guys aren't wearing masks.
You're welcome.
Want the recognition I deserve.
Oh, really?
I went to an alehouse I used to frequent, and I told the landlady the money was spent. I asked her for credit, she answered me nay. Such a custom is yours, I can get any day, and it's no nay, never. No nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more.
I'm also just so grateful to the crew. When I first conceived this idea, I thought it would just be myself and maybe a camera traveling around and doing this and getting this goal done. But from the moment I started sharing with my friends and with other musicians the vision for this and the idea behind it, people just jumped on board right away. And I realized that sacrificing 19 hours of a day and driving around and playing music for 19 hours is such a big ask. And just to have these fellow musicians say, how can I help? How can I be there? Was just an amazing encouragement for me. And I literally wouldn't have been able to do this without them.
All right, midnight.
I never really doubted that we would be able to do it. I think doubting or saying no about my ability just isn't in my nature. And so I had people that were like, this is crazy, this is insane, are you going to be able to do this? What does this even look like? But I always kind of had an answer, and I always was sure that we'd be able to accomplish this.
This is my favorite restaurant in downtown, so getting to finish that long day here feels really good.
I was
Yo, we did it! We did it! We did it!
The lemonade wasn't for
Good job,
sale,
Charlie.
but it didn't take
These are our friends at Ten Taco.
We did it, yeah!
They're feeding us, fueling us up.
sitting alone on the street and crying in
Good
your
job, guys. We did it.
The summer rain mixing with tears as you roll down your window. And I said, do you mind if I join you? It's a long, long way to the west coast, but you look so much better than California. If it's alright, we're gonna take our time tonight. Take our time tonight.